Merry Christmas, everybody. Yes, indeed. 2 more days to the big day. And so it may come as no surprise to you that Christmas is not necessarily a great day for everybody or not a great time of year. Whatever your particular holidays are, sometimes when you are watching TV and you're seeing all of the ads and you're at all of the stores where everybody is getting ready for the holidays, and your personal situation is not very happy. It's not very jolly at all. What do you do, right? How do you survive those holidays? And I had an experience myself just the other day where I was doing something that we do for the holidays, normal holiday activity. However, it was a big group, and it was very chaotic, very loud, and I'm really spoiled because I get to live by myself, just me and my dog. And so I pretty much get to control my environment. And that's a good thing and a bad thing because sometimes you can be a little lonely when you're controlling your environment like that. But a lot of times it's just the blessing of coming to home to a place that's very quiet and there's just no chaos at all. And so, being that I'm a grandparent now, I kind of remember now I can look back to my own grandparents and then my kids' grandparents, where they were always so glad when it was time for us to go home. My kids' grandparents. And it makes me smile how our attitude changes towards the holidays when when we're the parents of children or when we're in the middle of the family chaos. It's one thing, but then when we grow beyond that, sometimes it's all a little bit much. Another thing is that you may have experienced a loss last year where a dear loved one of yours passed on to the other side and is not here with us anymore at this part of our lives, right? They're just somewhere else right now. It could be that you have any other kind of loss or disappointment through the holidays that can be really painful. So that's why I'm here. I'm just over here working on my computer so I can add the link to my website because, as always, you can receive a free reading here, or you may want to order up a little bit of a longer reading so you can check what the energies are for you tonight while we're here together live. Okay, so let me just do this. Slowly but surely, I'm getting used to my new systems. And those of you who have been following for me for a little bit, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys more than you know. So, back to what we're doing. We need to have tools when we go through more difficult times of the year, especially when we're going through the holidays right after a loss or breakups. Did you know that December has more breakups than any other month of the year? Isn't that terrible? I think partly it's just the pressure of the holidays makes it even harder, right? So, hi, Angela, welcome. So, tonight we have 3 sets of readings you can do. One is an inner child oracle. This is a brand new deck for me. I'm super excited to be using it. And this is the middle size reading. We have a small reading, a medium reading, a large reading. So this is the middle reading where you can have me draw you an oracle card and do a reading. What would be the message from your inner child as we approach these holidays? And how can you maximize and get the most out of it? Okay. And then the second reading we'll do is the tarot reading. I'm using my Light Seers deck tonight, one of my favorites, to give us a little bit of a deep dive into something that you really could use. You're going to walk into a little bit of chaos during the holidays. You're going to go through some things that are not easy. And if you're like me, you don't want to run out of the room and go home. You want to try to stay where you are and do your very best to visit with your family, right? And this is true for me because I do partly like living alone because of how quiet it is. And then, anyway, for our free reading tonight, we're going to welcome in the beautiful world of crystals. And the crystal cards will bring to you just a special message just for you from spirit, from nature. What is it that you can remember as you approach these holidays? What does spirit have for you in the world of beauty and nature? Something that will strengthen you and give you the stamina to go through your holidays and come out smiling on the other side. So, if you'd like to have a reading, it's very easy. Those of you who have been here before, you know how it works. You just go to my website and put your name into the queue, order whichever reading you want, and I will be happy to read for you. So let me just get my screen back to normal here. Okay. And the very first thing we'll do here is I'm going to draw a card for the collective tonight. What is the energy for my collective? Those of you who are just watching right now, when it comes to the holiday, and you may have no issues in your family. Your family may all get along with one another beautifully, and there's no snarkiness, no unkindness, no rude teasing. You know how sometimes certain personality types just love to tease, don't they? But if you have a deliciously cohesive family, I'm very happy for you. But if you have friends and family that can be a little dramatic, sometimes we end up together with people who have had a lot of trauma. In fact, there's something called a trauma bond, where people who have gone through similar hardship can meet each other again, sometimes just for friendships, but sometimes they're intimate relationships that are pulled together because the two people have both gone through something similar in terms of trauma. Okay, so let's draw a card. Inner child wisdom. And a lot of time you'll hear people talk about the inner child at this time of year because Christmas is truly magical when you're a little kid. And even if you don't have many toys or your parents don't have much to give, people are softer and more loving a lot of the time during Christmas. It's a very sweet time for us. So, the inner child, you are worthy. This is something that I have to tell you has just been coming up a lot. If you've been watching my live readings lately, you know that Spirit has been sending so many messages up to us for us to accept our worth. The other day, I was feeling like worthness, that there's a quality of worthness, that you're worth something. Absolutely. As a human, there's people today that had contact with you that were better off because of it. Sometimes it's easier to be kinder to a stranger than it is to our own loved ones. Isn't that odd? It's very true. And you may look next to you on the highway and you make eye contact with someone. And as you smile at the person, that may be the kindest that anyone has treated them for the whole week. Isn't that something? But you are worthy. You are worth it all, my love. So let me just grab, and you guys know, as I like to, because I am a teacher, I can't help but do some teaching every time I open the cards. And one of the things that I love to do is to mentor other readers or other spiritual healers who have not, who just don't have the confidence yet to step out and be in service. And so I want to tell you guys that years ago, many decades ago, when I started reading, all I did was read out of the little book. I would pull the card and then read out of the book. And I felt silly in a way because I thought, well, if you're a real reader, you never need the book. No, that's not what it's about. What it's about is that the people who wrote this material and drew the cards are gifted healers that are here to help us. And so, to set the tone for tonight's readings about just having a survival guide, like how can we get through the holiday season with our chins up and and we're not like chewing our nails or biting our tongues, right? So we come home and we feel that we did it, that we were able to stay kind and loving no matter what. Okay. So let's look at, I'm going to read this to you, a part of it at least, from out of the book. And so you are worthy. Everyone longs to be worthy. We work hard to find this worth in many different places, in accomplishments, in titles, in the eyes of another. But at the end of the day, all we truly have is the worth that we attribute to ourselves. This is not to diminish the beautiful gifts that can be ours through our actions and relationships, but to say that if we do not find ourselves worthy first, we will continue to search for it elsewhere and never find satisfaction. So very true. So that, let me just see what this. Okay. So they call it the acceptance exercise. So they suggest, the author here, Amanda Lynn Aisling, suggests that you journal your what do you think when you hear the word worthy? Is there anything you feel you are not worthy of? What do you seek outside yourself to make yourself worthy? Write down 5 to 10 key statements about your worth. These statements should touch your heart and fill you up with feelings of warmth. Now, if you struggle because you just feel that you're not worth anything, the purpose of this particular card for you is to start telling yourself a new story right away. I'm just sensing tonight that even as I read from the book, it was a resistance, where something comes up inside of you and says, well, easy for you to say, Catherine. I don't feel very good about anything. And I'm like, okay, all right, I hear you. But you are loved, even as, and especially if you don't feel like you are. Okay. So, one of the things I suggest is to use the mirror for your practice. Look into the mirror, look yourself right in the eye, and say this: even though I don't know how, I'm learning to be kinder to myself right now. Even though I don't know how, I'm learning to be kind to myself right now. Even though I don't know how, I'm seeing myself with kindness now. These very simple statements are extremely powerful. Your mind is used to hearing you say cruel things about yourself. Your mind is used to hearing you pick on yourself. And we want to work towards accepting our mistakes and to begin telling a new story. There's a part of you, your inner child, who really wants to comfort you, especially as we finish the year. Okay, so thank you for being here. This is the general tone of the reading tonight. The card is not for anybody in particular, it's for all of us. That Spirit wants for us to recognize our own worth. Okay, moving forward. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Reva. Welcome. So glad to see you. And Satish, welcome. Guys, I'm so grateful that you stuck your head in tonight and check out our readings about survival kit, Christmas chaos, whatever your holidays are. I'm being here in the States and was raised Catholic, and then I was Christian in the Christian church for a while, and now I'm over into the spiritual world and doing the same kind of work, but just different practices. And it's Catherine with a C. Thank you for asking, Reva. And so we are tonight, if you would like to have a reading, I love pulling cards for you guys. And I so enjoy these tarot parties that we have when we're all here together from all over the world. And so thank you for letting me know where you're watching from. I would love to see that. If you have questions, I'm here for you. All you need to do is go to Manifest Faster, go to my website, and sign up for a free reading. Let me give you a little, well, now Maureen is here. Maureen, you can you be I can show through your card what we're giving away tonight for the free reading, which is about, oh, I'm so glad that you enjoyed the reading. The nice thing about reading for the collective is birds of a feather they do flock together, and the law of attraction is a real thing. Not everybody knows how to use it or talk about it or teach it, but the fact that tonight, as I pull these cards for you guys, the cards will bless my heart and they will continue to bless you guys' hearts, because we do have commonalities why we're all gathering together. Hi, Ganesa. Absolutely. I'm happy to pull a card for you. Hi, Antifrastica. I love your name. I don't know quite how to pronounce it, but I love all those syllables. Definitely, I am here for you guys. Happy to read the cards. Very easy. All you do is go to my website. I'll add it right here. You click on this link, it'll take you to my website, and then it'll give you on the place where you write down your question, and I will read for you. Okay? Yes, we have beautiful names. And tell me where you're writing from so I know where in the world you are, you guys. Okay, Miss Maureen. Maureen has been such a friend of my channel. Maureen, I can't remember. It's been quite a long time now since you joined my channel, and you were there before Hipsy invited me to be part of their platform, and you've seen things change in my world, haven't you, my friend? And I am happy to draw you one of the crystal cards tonight. Doing a little Christmas shopping. Mhm. I hope people are being polite out there, because I know at this time of year, everybody's so hectic, aren't they? So much chaos. So, what is it that we have for our beautiful friend Maureen when it comes to having some peace of mind? What can you do during the chaos of the Christmas season? Okay, so this looks like um, rose quartz to me, isn't it? Is it beautiful pink? It looks like rose quartz. So let's see if we're right. It is rose quartz, the heart chakra, self love. You can only love others as much as you love yourself. Okay, so in the very first card, it reminds me, it's something that's come up a lot in the cards we've pulled this last week, is learning how to be kind to yourself, right? To allow yourself to be free to make mistakes. Absolutely. I mean, there's such a beautiful thing when people can own their mistake, isn't it? Where they can come up to you and say, look, the other day when I was so sharp, I, I don't know what got into me. You're the last person I want to hurt. I'm sorry. Or, you're over there at work, and you just go up to the person and say, look, I don't know what was going on with me yesterday, but when I got home, I just felt terrible about the way I spoke to you. Will you forgive me? These kinds of things feel like it's impossible to figure out, right? How to get yourself out of a mess. But the reality is that when you're not afraid of making a mistake, all of a sudden you become so more lovable to yourself and to other people. But when you're afraid of making a mistake, then it gets very difficult. You're just so careful that the people around you feel like they have to walk on eggshells. They have to walk on eggshells to be around you. Have you heard that saying? So remember, Maureen, as you go through this season, it's this soft, beautiful, soft side of love. Sometimes we need to be tough with people, don't we? But we always need to be gentle with ourselves. If you have any pink quartz, I would definitely wear it. If you have a pendant or a ring or a stretchy bracelet with the pink quartz. And also, if you have any bath bombs, those bath bombs that you can make a bubble bath out of, if you have a pink bath bomb. In fact, that sounds really fun. I should do that too. But just pamper yourself with softness as you go through the holiday week. All right. Remember to breathe. Remember to breathe. And if you get critical with yourself, just like our first card was talking about, you are worthy. If you find yourself getting self-critical, just add this comment and say, even though I know I'm being hard on myself right now, I'm going to depend on Source to help me soften up. Okay? Absolutely. Even though I don't know how, I'm being gentler with myself right now. Even though I don't know how, I'm learning to be gentle with myself right now. Maureen, I would say that every single day in the mirror. Even though I don't know how, I'm learning to be gentle with myself right now. In fact, I feel like I want to write that down in this chat. It's such a wonderful affirmation. Even though I don't know how. I don't know why it is either, but the brain kind of likes the little rhymes for some reason. Even though I don't know how, I am learning to be gentle with myself right now. Sometimes people have a easier time saying something like that than to say, even though I don't know how, I love myself right now, because sometimes it feels awkward to say I love myself. I know I have struggled with that throughout my lifetime. My growing up years were filled with drama. My parents ended up divorcing when I was 21 years old. But it was lots of drama between them, and it was not the easiest thing. And the holidays often were filled with drama, filled with fighting, and I felt like I was really missing out. I was convinced that other people didn't go through that, and that other families, you know, didn't. It was a secret, right? Well, then I got to be an adult, and little did I realize that tons of people grew up with very difficult families, right? And so we have a lot in common, you guys. Love you guys. Love Reva. Reva, thank you guys. So glad you're here. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up at the top of the page. Also, the subscribe, sharing the reading helps me so much, you guys. I appreciate you. And Reva, all right, Reva. Let's see here. Okay, so you're in the no contact. So who asked for the no contact, Reva? Let me pull the crystal card here. So tell me who asked for the no contact, okay? And if you're just joining me, welcome. I'm Catherine. This is Pattern Breaker Tarot, and we are all about discovering what it is right now, what kind of chaos is in our hearts and our minds as we approach the holiday season, and how can we get through the holidays and still feel good about ourselves, right? Um, did he ask you for a no contact? So he said to you, Riva, my darling Riva, please don't call me for a while. I'm just wondering, I just want to know if that's what happened. Oh, my pleasure, Riva. I am glad you're here. So I just want to know, did he ask you? Okay, you just stopped talking somehow. Okay. Okay. Very good. All right. Okay. All right. So we have our dear friend Riva. And where is my deck? So you guys can see. This is our deck, Chakra Love. Raise your crystal vibration. Okay. Okay. What does Riva need to know? Okay, here we go. Ooh, the rutilated quartz. Isn't that beautiful? The rutilated quartz is a clear quartz, and it's got fibers inside of it. And I know that I've seen them with gold, and I don't know if it's always the gold fibers, that are in the rutilated quartz, but it makes me very curious. I want to look that up. So, Reva, I would Google the meaning of rutilated quartz, because I just sometimes I wish I had 3 computers and 6 hands, because then I could look up everything. And I'm a teacher and I can't help myself. But the rutilated quartz, that has a meaning. And so I'd love for you to look that up for yourself, because I think you'll find some extra, um, you'll find an extra piece of wisdom for you. But let's see what this says. Yep, rutilated quartz. Okay. Confidence. No one will believe in you if you don't believe in yourself. Be your own cheerleader. Okay. So, so this is a very clear answer, because you know what this does not say, Riva? This does not say no one will believe in you if you don't get connected to this person. Make this person your cheerleader. Okay, let me read that again. No one will believe in you if you're not with this person. No one will believe in you if you're not with this person. Let this person be your cheerleader. Hear that? Okay, now let me read what it says. No one will believe in you if you don't believe in yourself. Be your own cheerleader. So, right now, and again, this is only with one card, and it's limited because I can't pull these other cards. I could, because I do offer other readings here where I could pull more cards if that's what you want. But from this, I would say there's a reason that you're not speaking with the person, and you don't know what it is. And I believe Source would say, it's none of your business, Riva. It's none of your business. Something has happened with you, this person. They're going off to be in their life. They have people to talk to. They have work to do. They have family to deal with. Their hands are full. Okay, their hands are full of life. If they come back to you, great. Excellent. You can decide then, should you spend time with them or not? But right now, you need to take care of yourself. So, are you in school? Are you a student? How is your career right now? Are there things that you can do to advance yourself on your career? Are there trainings that you can take? Can you join an organization in your town that would help you take care of other people, to be a volunteer? Many times there's a food kitchen nearby where they need people to help. Is right, fantastic. So what you can do while you're putting, because you're putting the person over there because they are not paying attention to you right now. So you're like, okay, person, go have your life. I'm going to work on my life. I'm going to see what can I do to advance on your job. How can you go to the next level, Riva? Right? What training can you get? Could you practice a different language? Could you become trilingual? YouTube has practice for many different languages. And as you work on your own skill set and become very good at 3 or 4 more things than right now, just become excellent. Work on your English until it's flawless, and then pick up Chinese or pick up a different language and practice hard. What's going to happen is people are going to find you very desirable for hiring. Your self-confidence will go through the roof, the solar plexus energy, where your belief in yourself. And then if some partner comes along and thinks that they want you, well, they should have competition, because somebody like you should not have to wait around wondering if somebody likes them. No, Work on your own confidence. When you believe in yourself, other people will believe in you. It's a really good message for you, Riva. Really good. Okay, moving forward. Is there anybody else with me right now? Again, if you're just visiting, welcome. I'm going to continue to draw cards for the collective. And so if you have just swung by and you're just scrolling through, well, I'm glad you're here. What is it about Christmas? What's the chaos of Christmas? Now, in my situation, I went to a church service on Sunday, and it was, you are very welcome, Reba. The church service was very different than what I'm used to, and it was not easy for me. I mean, I'm telling you the truth. I was struggling because it didn't feel, it wasn't my style, and I wanted to leave, but I thought no, because I was with people that I love, wanted to be there with them. And it just reminded me of other times in my life in the holidays where you end up doing things that you really don't want to do. You know, you'd rather go here and they go there. You'd rather have ham and they cook turkey. You know, you'd rather play Christmas music and they want to watch football, you know. And again, I'm American, so you can tell by my storyline. So it is hard sometimes, and there are times where you could simply go take a walk. Honestly, if you just, when you're starting to get fried, and all of a sudden you just slip on your jacket and go out and say, "Look, y'all, I'm just going to go out and take a walk." Are you sure it's cold out there? And like, yeah, no, I'm sure. Because just getting outside and having some fresh air would be enough for you to refresh, hit the refresh button. Okay. So, anyway, I am reading cards for y'all if you would like tonight. And there are three cards, three styles. You can get a free reading where I will pull one of the crystal from the crystal deck. Hang on just for a second. I will do a one card reading from the Inner Child Oracle for you tonight, or a three card reading using my Light Seers deck. And I'm going to demonstrate a three card reading for you right now so you can see and also so you can receive. So hold up, if you're just scrolling through, welcome. Hold in your mind, what is it that's troubling you? What is the most, what's the hardest thing for you around Christmas? Did you lose somebody this year? Have you recently moved? What is going on? Let's see. Sticky cards tonight. Okay, so we have Eight of Pentacles. An Ace of Swords. Okay. Okay, let's see what's going on here for my friends. Yes, I love this. I love this ring. I've had it for a few years. There's a Nepalese store in San Diego, and it's got so many wonderful, beautiful Tibetan items. Plus, there's a restaurant right there, and yeah, I dearly love. Thank you for noticing. Okay, so here we have it. So I'm feeling the energy here of somebody who is very lonely, really wants to be in love with somebody. There's just this card here, you know, being just sad. Um, that the holidays are really hard, harder for you than for other people. And it's, you'd rather be alone because it's just, you just don't want to face it. You don't want to hear them saying, well, tell us about your dating life, or have you met anybody yet? And like, it's the last thing you want to talk about. Very hard, right? And I think what spirit wants you to know here is that a change is necessary. Okay. as you go into the holidays, and right now I feel like you're becoming defensive already, kind of getting ready for people to be giving you some heat or picking on you because they are just don't approve, they think you should be living a different way. Believe me, I understand that a lot. But you are admired and you do good work, whether it's as a friend or in your work environment or at church. You're somebody people can count on. You definitely bring light into situations where you are. And so I feel like it's probably confusing for you. Like, why are you still single? You know, why can't you find someone? I mean, you're a good person. You're talented, and there's lots of things that you do right. All right. And so this is connected with career, connected with money. And I know that, especially right now, it can feel like you need to prioritize your career right now, for sure. Yes, be nice to have love and money at the same time, but you don't want to mess up your career right now. And so I appreciate how patient you've been. But there's just this longing. Look at how she's gazing at that flame. It's just like, is this all there is? Like, I am so ready. I want to meet someone. I want to be with someone. And this card here, this Ace of Swords, this card of a brand new beginning when it comes to, okay, hang on. Let me just pick this up. Hold on. You're being invited to have a brand new attitude about the holidays. Yes, in the past, there's been some issues in the past. Up until now, the holidays have been a little bit tense, and you walk in and you're just on edge already. I get that. But today, for these holidays, what you need to accept is that in 2026, you're starting a brand new story. Okay. You don't have to know what the story is right now. What you know is that you're tired of this. You're tired of living where every single relationship ends up in a dead end. And what's wrong with me? What's wrong? Why can't I? Right? All of this energy that's just pulling you down. Enough, right? Enough. So this year, here's what we're going to say. Even though I don't know how, I'm giving myself a fresh start right now. Even though I don't know how, I'm giving myself a fresh start right now. Then, when you think to yourself, oh, brother, here we go again. I know my mom's going to say, what's wrong with you? Why don't you have somebody? And you're just ready to say, look, I get it and I understand. Starting in 2026, I'm changing everything. Oh, yeah, we'll believe it when we see it. Well, you will believe it when you do see it, because even though I haven't done well in the past, this year's different. I'm starting fresh. See how her chin is stuck out and she's like, yes, I can do it. And I love how this beautiful light shining in from above to show that the only way we can really move forward and find somebody that is really our person is through the divine's help. We need to have help, cannot do it by ourselves. Okay, so there you have it. So this is an example. If you wanted me to pull some cards for you, that's what I would do. I would use my Light Seers deck, pull 3 cards for you personally, and that way you can get a reading right here during this live. Yeah, thank you, Maureen. Isn't that it's a good reading? It really is. And it also goes to show you that many times there is a little bit of house cleaning, a little bit of decluttering that needs to happen when you are not finding the love that you want, or you are not finding, if you can't find the love you're looking for, and you can't find the a career change that you're wanting and nothing's working out, it's usually a sign that you're out of alignment. You are not at ease. You're not you don't have a sense of evenness in your within, that you're feeling ill at ease, nervous, anxious, and all of that. And so I've learned over the last couple of years that if that's how I'm feeling, the more nervous and anxious I am, the less likely it is I'm going to make progress, because I am most magnetic when I'm calm and relaxed. So, right now, as you're watching me, and I don't have any questions in here yet, and you can definitely ask me a question here. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm falling asleep at the wheel here. Let me give you the link. There's the link to my website. So I'll be happy to pull cards for you. But meanwhile, I just wanted to share what I do, because I get nervous, I get upset, I feel scared sometimes, I get worried just because I'm in this place of being a teacher to you guys. That doesn't mean that I don't have my share of struggles, not even close. And for the last couple of weeks, I've been a little bit troubled. My mind is just not where I want it to be. I'm trying to figure that out, because basically I'm really doing quite well. I love my house. I love my dog. I get to live very close to my son and his kids, and I get to be close to family, which has not been true for me for some years. And there's really no reason for me to feel ill at ease, but I do. And so I start trying to figure it out. It's very Catherine of me. So, over the last few days, as I've been trying to figure stuff out, I just keep stewing. And I stew about the problem. So I'm just what I did over yesterday and the day before. This is what I finally decided to do. And so I pulled a card, the Emperor card, and then I have this book here that's got all the cards in it. And I'm gonna see, I don't know if this, because I might have already. And this card, excuse me, this book, the cards are described here with the paragraph, and then there's a picture of them, but they're all black and white. And so I started coloring these in like little mini coloring book, okay? And so I didn't try to think of, here's one of them that I finished. I didn't go into this like, okay, I'm planning to solve my problem here. I'm having a problem, I'm worried, and I could tell you who I'm worried about, but it's just private, right? So I've got a person, I'm worried about my person, and I don't know what I'm going to do about it. And so I didn't like start coloring and then thinking, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I have to solve this problem. How am I going to help my person? No, no, no. I had actually had a Christmas movie on, and I was just coloring away like this. And just the cool thing about coloring or doing crafts like crochet or knitting or any of that is that when your hands are coordinated, they're creating, they're doing something, they're doing a task on command. I'm taking my brain and I'm giving it a task. And this is a much easier task than to figure out how to stop worrying. Because if I sit here and go in my own mind, okay, just stop worrying, Catherine. Okay, let's do an affirmation. Even though I don't know how, all my worry is going away right now, and I do that sort of thing. But what I found was, though, that by doing these different kinds of coloring or art, and there's doodling neurographic art, I don't know if you've heard of that, where it really does, it just makes a difference that somehow, once I get done coloring a picture like this, and I like it because it's little, that I just feel calmer. And a calm mind always makes a better decision. Okay. So whatever it is that you use, and it's really nice about with working puzzles, jigsaw puzzles is a great way. Playing Sudoku, right? Of these things are always great for distracting our minds when they're running amok on us. Okay, Maureen, wonderful to be close to people. You have, yes, and I have my woods, my forest, which I'm just so thrilled because I do have permission to use the woods that's near my house, and I can groom the paths, and that nature always soothes me, always. And now we're having kind of a heat wave. I think it's going to be the 70s, in the 70s on Christmas, and that's something. So anyway, if you're here, and what I do here when I come live is I do anything I feel like doing because I get to do that. I'm like the queen here. But we draw cards for the collective. I teach techniques for how to stay calm, knowing that when you're calm, you're going to have a better chance of having a good day. It's just simply, that's the truth of it. If you lose your peace of mind, if you become nervous and anxious, everybody walks around on eggshells because everybody knows that you're upset, but nobody knows how to fix it. Okay. I have brought my crayons and my coloring stuff to my family's house, and I just don't care if they, everybody's busy running around doing their thing. And there's times that I used to worry that they might think I'm antisocial, but I don't even care because I'd like to be with family, but I just prefer if things are a little calmer. So, hi, Suri, hi, Suri, hi, Sujani. When your situation, okay, Sujani, I would love to pull a card for you. You just need to register at my website, okay? I know Christmas, I mean, in San Diego, having a warm Christmas was totally part of what you expect, but not necessarily in Tennessee. Last year was really cold. So, yes, anybody that's here, I'm here. I'm happy to pull cards for you. There's 3 different readings today. There's the Inner Child Oracle. This one is $4.99. And then the Chakra Love, which is all crystals. And I have the beautiful crystal deck for a special message for you and what you can do about your chaotic Christmas stuff. And then I do the 3-card tarot reading tonight using my Light Seers Tarot. Okay. Meanwhile, there are techniques you can use so you don't lose your cool on Christmas. One of them is coloring. So simple. And what's very neat is that right now, with the dollar stores being around, and all of Target and Walmart and all of them have like a dollar store section now, I think. And you can get coloring books and crayons and markers for so inexpensive. And then you could do this. You could start a YouTube channel, or your friends could come and watch you color. But it doesn't solve my problem. It doesn't give me, okay, here's your 5 steps to stop worrying about your mother-in-law's brother-in-law, you know? No, I know. But it does, there's something about creativity. There's something about using your hands and the transaction that happens between the brain, my eyes, and my hands, and that when the brain is occupied like that, we bring ourselves into a state of relaxation. It's the opposite of fight or flight, right? We just bring ourselves into a place of calmness and ease. And I'm looking over there. Okay, I don't have anybody registered yet for a reading. So if you want a reading, you can. Now, if I want to add a little bit of difficulty to this, and when I say difficulty, you'll see why. So if I wanted to make this task a little bit more difficult for myself, and why? Because I'm using coloring to help myself become calm. Okay, you might have heard of like regulating your nervous system. Have you been hearing stuff about your nervous system, you guys, on the internet? Because there's just tons of stuff on there. Because anxiety, if you have anxiety, it means that your nervous system is upset. Okay, so 20 years ago, we didn't say your nervous system is deregulated or dysregulated. We just said that you might have an anxiety problem, but now they call it something else. So if I switch this pencil to my other hand, so left-handed now, so I'm coloring left-handed. Now, if you're a perfectionist like I am, then when I'm coloring like this, there's a very great chance I'm going to go outside the lines because I'm not very good at coloring with my left hand. But this is so cool, you guys, because guess what? When you use your non-dominant hand for anything, your brain has to work a little harder than normal. And you're exactly right, Maureen. Like knitting is relaxing. Absolutely. Because you're using your hands, your eyes, and your brain in a collaborative effort. So when you write or color with your non-dominant hand, you actually bring your brain into a really good state. It's a state that's more alive, more electrically alive. And so it's I wish I knew how to explain this stuff better, but I don't. I just use the techniques and then they work for me. But the thing about this one is that at first you might be a little judgmental when you color out of the lines or you color into an area where you're not supposed to, like this little dot in here, this is supposed to be orange. And that's where you get to hear your inner critic can start bossing you around and say, look at how terrible you are. Look, you can't even color. The 3-year-old could do better. You know how we can say bad stuff about us. Anyway, so, but using your non dominant hand, it slows you down, which is very good and calming. And I'm going to see if I can color in there. It gives you practice. Oh, not bad. It gives you practice in self acceptance. Okay. This is so interesting because now it's like I can feel myself doing different stuff, like even turning the book like this. I've been doing this for a lot of years, not every day, for sure. But I've gotten used to like the self judgment I used to when I very first started doing this so long ago. And I kind of hated how it felt. I hated the results. And then I had to tell myself, look, nobody's going to see it. You know, little did I know that years later I'd be having my YouTube channel. But it's like, it's not for display. It's not I'm supposed to sell it or do anything with it. It's just to help me regulate my nervous system so that I can stop being so anxious about things or being uncomfortable in certain environments. Now, if you guys have a coloring book nearby, see, I went out of the lines there. But if you have a coloring book nearby and some crayons, grab them. And we can color together. It's just fun to hang out. Hi, Maureen. I had to learn to use my left hand when I fractured my right wrist. Yeah, absolutely. I had a situation too. I fell through a glass window when I was a kid and cut this wrist badly, and it was not a fracture, but it cut through the tendon and the artery in there. And you're right, because I had to use my left hand for a lot of different things back there. But it's true, and they say like psychology will agree with this also, and say that when you're coloring or doing art of any kind, that they're starting to understand more about how healing that is for us when we're trying to overcome some of the stories from our past, because if you have Christmas chaos, that's the thing, is that Christmas chaos is many times part of just the everyday normal experience for people who grew up in chaotic childhoods. Um, I was from an Irish Catholic family, and there was no birth control allowed, and 8 children, 2 miscarriages, I think she said. So it's like 10 pregnancies in 10 years, And I'm 73, so that was like growing up in the 50s. And see, now I'm proud of myself, you guys. Look at that. That's not bad for left-handed coloring. But anyway, but the point is though, that left hand just slows you down. So a lot of times when you are worried and if you're worried about going home and being with the family for the holidays, I completely get it. I mean, I'm in Tennessee right now. It's my 4th year living here, and I'm getting used to it. I'm enjoying the people. It's fun. It's getting better all the time for me, even though I'm, even though there are times that I get homesick for where I lived before I came here. I get a little homesick and I miss the friends that I made in different places. But for the most part, I'm really having a wonderful experience living here. Okay. So when I do, instead of, if I'm worried right now without coloring, I'll like putter around the house and do some housework or take Murphy out for a walk, but my mind is wanting to run off and do planning and doing and what have you. So that's why coloring just helps me get my mind straight. And mostly I love to share what I've learned about manifesting. So this is just the perfect way to pass time. Okay, so now I'm looking and seeing what I want to color next. And I'm seeing that yellow, but the red is there. So there's this little tiny drop. This little tiny drop in here. So you guys know, I think that I really love the work of Neville Goddard when it comes to manifesting. I just love how he talks about things. And it's, even though he's been dead a long time and he did most of his teachings last century, when it comes to understanding how important it is that I control my thinking, that I don't let something discouraging that's happened bring me down, to steal my joy. That's my most important thing, because Abraham Hicks, you guys know I love Abraham, and Abraham says, listen, the only reason that you think you want something is because you think that you'll be happier having it. Okay. So let's say you're trying to manifest a better position at your work, right? They just don't treat you right. And you just, nabbit, you want to move on. I mean, find a place to work where they treat you right, period. It's not fair and you want to change. Okay. Well, Abraham would say the only reason that you think you want that is because you'll think you'll be happier when you have it. Can you get it? Is that true for you? Think about what you want. Do you need a new car right now? Need a new job? Need a new girlfriend? What is it right now in your life that, yes, if I had more money right now, my life would be better? If I was married right now, I'm positive. And of course, the married people are saying, if I was single right now, my life would be perfect. So yeah, take that thing, whatever it is you're looking for. And if you're just joining, hey Duncan, welcome. Glad you're here. I'm pulling cards tonight. I have 3 decks to pull. If you want to have a free card, it's our chakra love deck, or our crystals. That's the cards that are free. And I'm very happy to draw cards for you. And then tonight I'm just using one of my techniques, just coloring, but it's a technique that I use to stay calm. Because when it comes to the holidays, we really do need to keep ourselves calm. If you let yourself become annoyed at some of those family members, or maybe your boss at work because you get called in, if we allow others to disturb us or to steal our peace, that's when we have some troubles, because we're not ever guaranteed that everything's going to work out our way. But we do know that if we trust, if we keep turning inside, it's like, okay, Spirit, I don't know why this is happening, but I do know I've made it through worse and I'm going to get through it. I don't know why all this stuff, it keeps happening to me, but I know I can get through it. I've gotten through other things, so I'm going to get through this. But even though I don't know why, I'm starting to feel my guidance again here. And so the whole point of this is that you don't have to pick a coloring project, a woodworking project. There's one of the people that I really respect. They were talking about a way to deal with stress. And what they did, I think their husband was a carpenter. So they got a 2x4 and they would hammer the nails into the 2x4, just over like maybe 20 nails, just 2 inches, and just hammer those things into a 2x4 until their arm was exhausted. And then what happened was that it releases a lot of neurotransmitters, right? There's, as I am doing this work right now with my hands and looking at the card and creating this little drawing, that my brain is busy firing off. I wish I understood this better so I explain it better, but my brain is busy directing my hands to create the colors on this painting. So bottom line, the way I look at it is if that's what's happening, is that my brain is now busy following directions to create this drawing, that it's not worrying. That has been my experience, that I can't worry and color at the same time. It's the worry just goes away. Okay. And I can get done with the drawing, and then I might get picky and look at it and go, oh, look at that. I feel silly in a way, because at my age, I certainly, who cares? I know you guys are watching me, and I appreciate having the company while I'm coloring, but I doubt that you care at all whether the colors I picked, or whether they are shaded properly, or whether I stayed in the lines. I know that the people that come here do like for me to pull cards for them. Or a lot of times I think the people just like listening because there's something about the tone of my voice that is making them curious. And I love that. And I appreciate you guys, appreciate your company. Okay, let's see. And then I think I'm a little. Okay, let me just glance over there. Maureen is back. Oh, Maureen, you're back. Okay, let me just hold up. Very good. My little emperor card. Okay, let me hear what it says. So interesting that the emperor card came out at the time, that you are asking for your reading, Maureen, because it's just, you have come for a couple of other readings, so I know a little bit about what the general energy is around your life and what you're looking for. So that thing about the emperor is just that authority, right? And nobody messes around with the emperor. And especially in more primitive societies, there was a lot of fear of the emperor, of course, right? So it's very curious. Let's see here. So Maureen, how will I know if the one I meet is the one to look at me? Okay. All right. That's a very interesting question. Okay. All right. When it comes to the one that Maureen will meet, okay, hold on just for a second. I'm going to add my website down there. Anybody else would like a reading? I'm here for you. All you have to do is go to my website to register. Okay. All right. So I'm feeling like, all right, listen, I'm kind of getting a sense, okay, of what's going on. Because what I'm sensing, Maureen, from your question, because we're asking our inner child. So I'm feeling like what you're wanting is, how will your inner child communicate with you? How will you know? Because if our inner child is able to guide us through like the difficult family stuff at the holidays, The inner child has been with you a very long time. The inner child was represented by your energy when you were at your best, when you were a kid, when you were doing things that you loved, you were with people that loved you, you were just in a very warm, nurturing spot. So as you're going forward and you're wondering, and you might be wondering for a person that would be a love interest, but it could also be somebody through for work or another important purpose too. It's like when your inner guidance is when your inner child is cooperating with you so that there's a seat at the table, right? For your inner child to be expressed, it's going to help you make more comprehensive decisions. Okay, let's see what we have here. Choose yourself today. Do not deny your importance. This is really, really important, and Maureen, very suited for you. Okay. This looks to me like an exhausted fairy. I see her and she just looks so exhausted, and she's resting her arms on the top of that globe, and she's just like resting. She's just taking time and resting. And so, knowing you, though, and some of the issues that you have been facing for the last couple months or even the whole last year, is that you can really lose track of yourself in situations like yours, because sometimes, and it's about tough love, part of it, where the decisions you have to make because somebody else's behavior is hurting your life, somebody else's behavior is creating chaos. So I think with you, with the Christmas chaos, how to survive the Christmas chaos is to choose yourself today. So it is critical, and I know this is like a complete redo of the reading. I think every time you come, you get about the same reading, don't you? Even though there are different cards. So I'm going to use the book here just so that I can honor you with that. But it's so important. I think it would be very helpful for you to wear a bracelet through the rest of the holidays where you can exchange wrists, so that when you have your bracelet and you said, and you get that worry, you're thinking, what do I do? And everything's terrible, it's so chaotic. Christmas is such a mess and all that. You take the bracelet off and put it to your other arm and say, I'm choosing, even though I don't know how, I'm choosing myself first right now. Okay. Even though I don't know how, I'm choosing myself first right now. Let me write that in here. Even though I don't know how, I am putting myself first right now. And even if you don't do anything differently, Maureen, okay? I'm putting myself first right now, because all of the changes that we start on the inside of us, we strengthen that inner muscle, and it's a prayer that we're praying out loud to ourself and to spirit and to God to help us. Even though I don't know how, I'm putting myself first right now. If you look in the mirror and say that right smack into your eyes, even though I don't know how, I am putting myself first right now. And then you might have an inner voice that says, no, you're not. And, who do you, this, look at you talking to yourself in the mirror. Who do you think you are? All of that stuff. You just ignore it and you keep speaking the truth. It's a new story. Even though I don't know how, I'm putting myself first right now. Okay. And I would definitely take a picture of this card with your, just so you have a picture of it, because it is marching orders, isn't it? Do not deny your importance. Very important for you. And because when you put somebody ahead of yourself, especially somebody who's just not acting right, right? Somebody who's having issues and they're making unhealthy decisions. And this is where you may need advice. You know, there may be a 12-step group that you can go to. Al Anon is a great way to start. I wish Janice were here. She would tell us. But there may be some support you can get at absolutely no cost to help you do, you know, the put yourself first and take care of yourself. Okay. So choose yourself today. Our inner child has always been sensitive to a promise broken, a desire disregarded, or a hope lost. It is paramount that we show our inner child and by default our present selves that they are important to us through our actions. Ask yourself what it looks like for your inner child to be important to you today, this week, this month, and this year. Write down your answers on a piece of paper. Some of these answers might be overwhelming or seem unattainable, and that's okay. Look at your answers and make a list of ways you can show yourself that you are important every day. Try to distill your weekly, monthly, and yearly answers into a very tiny daily task. For example, if you are wanting to write a book this year, a daily task could be to write just 200 words each day. Okay. Now, are there aspects of yourself that you may feel might not be worthy of praise or accomplishments, where you feel you are not good enough? Write a list of where you feel you're not good enough, and then give yourself praise, no matter how insignificant you may feel about these things. Giving yourself praise is so important. It's as if you are a proud parent and presented with a masterpiece from a toddler. Okay, it is so important to praise yourself. Close the bathroom door, Maureen, so you're by yourself in there, and then every day, look yourself in the eye and praise yourself for something. Maureen, look at those gorgeous eyes, you may say to yourself. Or you could say, Maureen, look how sharp you look today. Maureen, that color looks beautiful on you. Okay. Give yourself compliments every single day. That's one easy first step. Got it? You have to let me know how that works for you. Okay, all right. So, welcome everyone. I'm glad you're paying me a visit tonight. I'm Catherine. This is Pattern Breaker Tarot, and we are all about finding answers for being our own best friend. You know, when you have to go to some Christmas situations, you may find yourself like I was the other night, the other day, going to a church service that was not quite the type of service that I go to or understand. And so I was so uncomfortable, and I had to try to find a way to be there with my family, even though it was not my favorite thing. And so it's like that. It's like a survival guide. What do I need to do? One thing I found was watching my breathing. I'm learning how to meditate. And if you guys are looking for a fantastic app for meditation, there's an app called The Way by Henry Schuckerman. And I love Henry so much. He's really, really a wonderful teacher. And you can find that in your app store. And so when I'm feeling ill at ease, I know that I can breathe, and breathing helps bring me into calmness. And another thing I found is I could shut my eyes. So here I was at a large service, and it was very loud, too loud for my comfort, for sure. And and visually there was a lot going on. I was a little overstimulated, so I just closed my eyes, and I was amazed how that did bring me some comfort in the midst of it, because I was committed to stay. Part of me said, well, just leave if you're that uncomfortable, right? Yeah, absolutely. But I just felt, no, I didn't want to leave. It didn't feel like I needed it to do that, but I needed to find a way to just feel more comfort, and just to let me stay. So closing my eyes was just wonderful, and it worked. All right. So that's what we're here for tonight, is to just hand out any tools. We talked about coloring, about, how kids right now, they'll have different fidget toys that they'll play with in those squishmallow animals, and different sorts of things that move that young kids can use to help them stay calm in the classroom. And as adults, we need these things too. It really does help. Anxiety is something you can get rid of. One thing you can do is you can take and rub your hands like this, okay? There's a technique that's called havening. I'm just learning about it. And there's certain ways that you can touch your body. Like right now, you guys know that I love tapping. Tapping is something I use as often as possible and teach all my clients because I love how it works. But just as I stroke my hands, just like this, back and forth, this is a way to bring calm to my mind. Isn't that neat? So easy. Okay. So now I would like to do a demonstration of one of my crystal cards, which if you would like for me to read a card for you, a crystal card, I'm happy to do it. All you have to do is go to my website. Let me just add my website here for you. Go to my website, register there, and I'm happy to draw a card for you. We do have 3 choices tonight. We have a 3-card reading, a 1-card reading, and a mini oracle free reading. Excuse me. Okay, so if you're here, welcome. I'm Catherine. Thank you for being part of my collective tonight. And just because you're here, you can grab this reading. What is it that the world of crystals has for us? What do you have for us? Crystals are so beautiful. Okay. This kind of reminds me of tiger's eye. So as I look at the picture, what I'm thinking to myself is that you need to see a new angle. Okay. Something's going on right now, and you're not quite seeing all of the facts. So there's something you're missing. Okay. So if you feel odd or you feel like somebody's pressuring you into something, just say, hang on, let me sleep on it. Something doesn't quite feel right. And it's a smoky quartz. Strength. Strength comes from your connection to the root of your being. Absolutely. When you're being asked to make a decision and it feels like you're being pushed, as you're feeling very anxious about the decision, that's a good time for you to slow down, take a breath, and spend some time quietly. I would go out and take a walk and just ask Spirit to show you, what am I missing here? What do I need to know? What do I need to know before I make this decision? And then just walk along and just let your mind wander. Think about both sides of your situation. If I do that, this might happen. And think it through as you walk along. So, walking meditation can be very, very helpful. And then think about the other option. Well, if I walk along and do that, if I go in that direction, I'll have to deal with those people. And then what you do is just get yourself a nice tall glass of water and drink the water. And then just put both the scenarios out of your mind. And then tomorrow, when you wake up, just go deep within your own heart, within your own being, and just ask yourself, which of these would be to my highest good? Which of these choices would lead to my highest good? Asking for help from the inside is where your strength lies, at the root of your being. If there's somebody that you love and trust, a family member, a professional, or a person who's in the clergy, a holy person, could be very helpful for you to ask for someone's advice. But at the end of the day, it's you being sure of what you can do to feel comfort in that decision. Okay, so I'm going back over here to my coloring, demonstrating a few different ideas tonight about what you can do when you are needing to decide something. Oh, there's a blue in there. You need to decide. And so as I think about it, like right now, let's see if I have, okay, I can think of something that I would like to have some wisdom about. Something that's not troubling me. I'm not like really super upset. But I'm thinking, gosh, should I reach out? Should I contact that person? So here I'm thinking of my issue. Like I said, it's not the end of the world, not a huge problem, but it's something that I just can't tell. Is it a good timing? Should I leave it? Should I leave it completely alone? What do I need to know? I wonder. So asking yourself questions like that is smart. The brain really loves questions. And then I'm just going to finish coloring my picture here. And what I was saying to you guys earlier, if you weren't here, is yesterday, I've been feeling a little punk. Physically, I'm feeling fine, but just emotionally, just kind of all over the place. And I don't really know why, because I don't have any reason to be emotional. There's been a little bit of loss. Somebody that was quite old, so her death was not a surprise, but her passing has had some impact. And let's see, but really nothing huge, nothing major at all. But I've just been kind of on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say my mood would be down there around a 6. And so yesterday or the day before, I decided to grab my coloring book here and just start coloring some tarot cards. And I actually did start to feel better. And I'm always amazed at that it's because I'm somebody who does like to figure things out. I like when I can track down the answer and, see that equation drop into place and go, oh yeah, okay, that's why it works this way. And if I can't figure it out, it's hard for me to let it go. Can anybody relate? So anyway, so tonight I'm doing the same thing. There's just some issues around the holidays, some decisions I need to make, and I have to accept some things that I cannot change. You know how you have to have the wisdom to know the difference. The lovely serenity prayer. It does bring a lot of wisdom, but it's just a pain in the butt sometimes. No offense to anyone. Okay, so there, everything looks good. I think, I just want to make his cheeks a little rosy. There. But I do like, I hadn't colored when I first picked up coloring a couple years ago. It was something I had heard. I thought, oh yeah, I should do that because I used to like to color. But then and I can't tell you why I didn't really. And then when I start to do it, I'm like, well, duh, it's very fun. Okay, what do the pink, his hands need to be pink. Okay, all right, whoever's watching, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching along. I would love to draw a card for you, and all you need to do is register at my website. Let me add it right here. And I usually show up Sunday mornings, and this week I did not show up Sunday morning because I was actually with my family. And this week too, with Christmas and everything, I'm not sure exactly when I'm going on. You will get a notification if you are signed up for my website. We always notify you when I'm coming on live. And in YouTube, yes, as you subscribe to YouTube, they will also let you know. when I'm coming on so that you won't miss out on anything. So let's see here. Let's draw an inner child oracle for my collective. So if you're here and you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for visiting me. I am tickled pink. I hope that you will come back and see us again. Yeah, right? No, I'm trying to be, I've been a workaholic in my life. I tend to get wrapped up in projects and I over accommodate. I put more time in than I need to. I've done that for a lot of years. So I'm trying to get rid of that habit best I can, and even to come here and slow down and do some other methods, just enjoy you guys' company and read cards, but it's not of all of who I am, right? And it's just fun to get to know you guys in a different way. So, okay, so this card is for the collective. So, is your Christmas a little chaotic? Do you have people coming and you're hoping they behave themselves? Is there an uncle or an auntie who hits the bottle a little bit, gets a little tipsy? I can remember one time my own parents were going through a tough time, and my dad came over, and the first thing he did was turn up the oven to 500 to cook the food faster. And I was like, oh God. Anyway, and sometimes we just have to endure a lot through the holidays. They're not like the commercials on TV sometimes, are they? Hi, Arlene. Welcome, my friend. So if you'd like to have a reading tonight, I would really love to pull a card for you. And I'm using the crystals deck for the free card. And so if you'd like one, all you have to do is go to my website and register. Meanwhile, this card is from the Inner Child deck. What does this card have to say for us? There is hope ahead. I love that. So interesting. Have courage and take heart, for there is hope. So as I look at the card, it's really hard to see what this is here. Because it's a fantasy situation. There's some sort of element here that's it's an abstract painting is what I'm trying to say. But what I saw was, though, this looks like a bridge. It looks, the big huge beautiful foundations, that a big bridge through a deep river. The bridge is so gorgeous. I think of the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, or some of the old bridges in New York, or all over Europe, those big beautiful bridges. And so there is that sense of a bridge is being built this holiday season. Okay. So there is someone that is going to be visiting you during the holidays, and they're coming over. They're coming back. They are someone who has stepped out. They may have run away. They may have stepped away out of sheer frustration. And it may be even many years since you've seen this person. But there is a bridge. I think that this person met someone in a different city, maybe a different country. And when they met the person, they actually knew of their family. They knew of you. They knew of your family, and it blew your person away. They are like stunned that this could have happened, that they met someone on the other side of the world who knows you and your family. And there was something that was said that pierced your person's heart. They have not known how they were going to reconnect. They felt lost and alone, and they haven't not known what direction to turn. But Spirit has been using their dreams and random life contacts. This bridge that's appearing for you and your family is completely supernatural. There is no way to explain it. Okay. Excellent. Man, I love that story of that card. Thank you so much. Okay, Arlene, hi, full moon, Salazar. Hope to make some else, hope to make their Christmas. Okay, yes, if you'd like to have me draw a card for you for your Christmas season, I'm happy to do it. I'm using the chakra card. What is the vibration? What is a crystal that can be a special gift for you, my friend, for this Christmas season? All you need to do is register on my website, and I'm happy to pull a card for you. Okay. So, anyone else here? What would you like to know? What is it about this particular Christmas that is a little bit more difficult? So let's go. You know what I'll do? So let me just pull my tiny tarot here. I just feel like coloring a different one, and let's use that as far as somebody who's been toxic. We've hurt our feelings. We don't know what's been going on. Why has this person been? Okay, so it does look here. It looks like there's somebody here that you have wanted to have a relationship with somebody. Okay, so this is a general reading, but I'm just picking up here that no matter what you do, this person will not pay attention to you. No matter what you do, this person cannot see you. In one hand, they have their staff, in the other hand, they're holding the globe. There's no room for you. Is this a no contact situation? Is there anybody watching? Has somebody put you into no contact? Let me know. Somebody watching. It's like I'm sensing that somebody is like stuck, like frozen in time. Like they got some news and they can't believe the news they got, and they walked outside and they're just trying to figure it out. Like, what does this mean? What does this mean? Yeah. Yeah. So I again, yeah, with our two of wands here, um if you want to ask, if you're saying, if you are wondering during this Christmas season, is this the year that your person's going to say, yes, I want something else. I want something um, serious with you. Okay, so I feel like there may be somebody right now who's watching me, and that's what you're thinking. You are right now. You may even be out. You might have your home might be in a place where you can go out there. You might live near the ocean, and you are out there and you're looking at that horizon. You're looking at that sunset, and you're thinking to yourself, "Is this the year? Am I going to find my person?" Okay. Because I have a feeling that for you, if you're watching me right now, that's your biggest desire. It's like you're so tired of being alone. It's not fair. Why has everybody else gotten to find their person and you cannot? It's not fair. Can you relate? What is it? What's the message for my friend? a lot of times it's somebody that you fell in love with right at the very beginning when you were a child, teenager person, okay? That you fell in love with someone when you were not even 20 years old, okay? So, can anybody relate to that? Has anybody here fallen in love with somebody when you weren't even 20 years old? Okay. Now, we have deep feelings when we're young, don't we? Very deep feelings when we're young. And it can be devastating. It can also make you lose your perspective and start to settle for people that don't treat you right. You know what I mean? People that are mean spirited, unkind, bossy, micromanaging. You know what I mean? And sometimes you can end up with people like that just because you're kind of afraid if you don't take them, you might end up alone. And that's just not right. There, you deserve to be loved. You deserve to have somebody who thinks you are all that, because you are. You are all that. And you deserve to be treated like that, period. Okay? So, Spirit is saying, don't settle. There's a lot of fish in the sea, the globe here. There are so many potential people who will love you and care for you and treat you the way you deserve to be treated. You deserve to be treated with love and respect, with honesty and truth, kindness. Somebody who has your back no matter what. That's what you deserve. And even right now, if you have to be alone for a while, just because it's just so hard, how do you find that person, right? You say, well, Catherine, easy for you to say, but how am I supposed to find them? I'm like, oh, yeah, I know. And there are lots of ideas about it, and I can tell you them. The main thing is that you need to make that decision. And say, what decision? What do you mean? And I would say the decision is, do you deserve to have someone to treat you right? Yes or no? Are you willing to do what it takes to connect with someone that treats you right? That's the decision. I choose to be with someone who treats me right. Okay? I choose to be with someone that treats you right. Let's write that down. I choose, to be with someone who treats me right. Amen. You can say that in the mirror every single day. Look yourself right in the eye, because you need to start believing it first. Okay? I mean, if you don't believe it, how is anybody else going to believe it? And you don't have to do, this gender doesn't matter here, you guys, because it's all about the energy of the cards. So don't, I don't mean to make it seem like it's a she thing. It's just the energy. But this is like what will happen to me. Like if I worry, or if I'm finding myself stewing about something, and right now I'm speaking out loud, so you're getting to hear my thoughts. But this is why I do love to color while I'm thinking about these things, because Abraham Hicks, you guys know I love Abraham. And Abraham it's always about being calm and relaxed. They talk about being in the vortex, which is about being in well-being, where you're calm, relaxed, peaceful indifference. Yeah, people are doing their thing. There's all kinds of hassles and problems, and people are acting ugly, like any good holiday. But you're just okay with. You just like go out inside and have a walk, or do something to distract yourself, but don't get pulled into other people's drama, because it is possible. It really is. It's kind of cool when you realize that you're just pretty indifferent. Okay, let's see here. Where was I? All of the readings we did tonight were very much about treating yourself with love and respect, and that will always continue to be super important. If you guys would like to have a card, all you have to do is visit my website. It just takes a second, really. You can do it so quickly. Just visit the website, add your name to the list, and I would be happy to pull a card for you, okay? So anyway, don't let fear of a broken heart keep you back from love. Family, maybe you have somebody in your family who doesn't agree with your politics, or they tease you all the time and it's very uncomfortable. They've always teased you a lot and you wish they would just stop it, because it's not fun at all for you. Until you roll your eyes, you go, brother, I have to go be with that person again. La la la. It's not fun for you, what have you. But you know that your mom or your dad or your aunts, uncles, your grandmas and grandpas, there's other people who really love to see you. They do. And even though it may not be fun for you to go and you think you're almost ready to bail and not go for Thanksgiving, the truth is that there's certain people there that definitely will miss you if you don't go. Okay? If I can go, you guys can go. And you can always leave early. But chances are there's somebody there that's really banking on you going. There's something you'll hear there during the day or during the dinner that'll just uplift your spirits. Because, Source does love you. The universe, God, loves you so much. But often the way we hear about that love, most of the time, it comes from other humans. And yeah, some come to your door and they deliver your Walmart goods or the DoorDash, and they're friendly. But the reality is, though, we really do we need to get out and about, stretch our wings, be friendly, watch who the divine puts across your path, be kind, and know that there's somebody at your Christmas table is going to feel very anxious about something you don't know anything about. And they may be a little distracted or grumpy, and you might be annoyed with them, but you don't even know what it is that's their problem, right? That they're really having an issue. So don't take things personally. Remember, we love that book, the 4 Agreements, where don't take anything personally, don't assume anything, be impeccable with your word, and do your best with the other 3 steps. I love that. Do your best to not take things personally. Do your best to speak impeccably. Do your best. Just to allow that nobody's perfect and that everybody's a little nervous around the Christmas table. Okay, is there anybody here that wants a reading before I go? I'm happy to do it. Anybody else here like to color? Sometime you'll have to come and color with me. And we'll have to send them in. I wish there was a way I could communicate with. I can email you once you have gotten a reading here. I can email you through my website, so that's cool. But at this point, there's no way for you to email me back um, except if you make comments on the readings. Then I can. Hang on a second. What's that yellow? What is that yellow doing on there? Oh, maybe it's sand. Anybody else would like to have a reading? Just go to my website and put your email, add your information. And I would be more than happy to pull cards for you. There we go. I think that's it. Yeah, it is. I mean, when I do stuff like this, it is definitely a time taker. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm finding myself worried or upset about something, and I deal with it, and just talk it through to myself, maybe do some journaling and realizing, oh yeah, I think I am sad about that, and just allow myself to think about it. But going ahead and doing the coloring like this, it's really cool because I don't have to, I'm not processing anything on purpose or giving myself an instruction about, okay, now this is how you should think or what have you. It's just the coloring itself is so comforting. So tonight we did the Emperor and we did that Two of Wands and we pulled a few cards. It was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for being here with me. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve and then Christmas Day following. Not sure exactly when I will be online for the next couple days. Kind of depends on what my family's doing and my time, to be able to be here with you guys. Thank you so much, Fuli. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Yes, if you want it, the way it works here when you come to my readings is that I always add my website here, and all you do is go to the website, add your request to the website, and then I do your reading here on YouTube. Once you sign up for my website, you will get notifications when I am going to be live. And also, you want to hit the thumbs up with YouTube, and there's lots of different ways that you can hear about what we're doing. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You guys are the best. I love hanging out with you. Thank you so much for joining me, and have a really blessed holiday season. Reach out if you guys are. I just don't want you to feel like you're alone on the holidays because we are here for you here at my little community. And I'm just going to put my email address in here because if you are going to be alone during Christmas, reach out, let me know. I'll send you an email. There's my email address right there. So you could write that down. I love hearing from you. I love to hear your stories. I love to hear how tarot is changing your life, how long you've been following me, where you have been watching from, and all those things. So thank you again. I will see you soon. Bye, you guys.